Hi, I'm Lindsay Barnett, attorney with Graydon in Cincinnati. 2021 marks Graydon's 150th anniversary. And while we're enormously proud to be celebrating that milestone, we recognize the reason we continue to exist is our clients. They are the reason we're here, the reason we're able to give back to the community in the many ways that we do. So to celebrate our anniversary, we've decided to shine the light on some of the clients we serve who are truly iconic members of our community. We've launched a series of iconic conversations with these clients, and today we're proud to speak with Terry HORAN, President and Chief Executive Officer of HORAN. Terry, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, Lindsay, glad to be here. Happy anniversary.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Let's start by maybe just telling us a little about the history of HORAN and how long HORAN's been a part of our community.
Well, thank you for saying that, Lindsay. Coincidentally, next year we celebrate our 75th. So we're just half as old as you are, although, we hope that we too can be around 150 years, just like you all are. And hopefully we aspire to have the same qualities that you do and share throughout the community. So we started in 1948 as an insurance agency attached to the Great West Life Assurance Company out of Canada, and they had opened an office in the First National Bank building at the corner of 4th and Walnut. And I joined the company as employee number 3 in 1973, and in 1981 we incorporated to HORAN Associates, and away we went. And today there are 155 of us. And frankly, you're catching me on a very interesting day, Lindsay, and that this is the last day in our current building at 4990 East Culverth Road. We're moving out this afternoon, and we will ultimately occupy a new space at 8044 Montgomery Road in the Bank One Towers, or I think that's what they're called these days. And we're looking forward to that move. So you're catching us on a big.
Well, that's exciting, Terry, and sorry to catch you on the last day when there are probably movers and boxes being shuffled, but congrats on the move.
Quite all right. It's quite all right. They're leaving me alone for the moment.
Perfect. You're getting out of packing boxes, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you tell us a little bit about HORAN's mission?
Yeah, so our mission is to provide employees and employers with an atmosphere of productivity and abundance through the use of the products we sell, which is basically health insurance products, basically through an employer setting, life insurance products, and then a whole suite of retirement income products. So we want people to be able to access these products in such a way that brings abundance and productivity to their lives.
Great, and that's important in the time we're in right now. So I think, we'd be remiss not to talk about that elephant in this room, which is the pandemic, right? And
right.
What unique challenges COVID has presented for HORAN, and how have you responded to those challenges?
Well, thanks for saying. First of all, we had to learn to live in a bifurcated world where at times none of us were in the office, at times half of us were in the office, and so we've adopted Zoom as a preferred method of communication among each other. And we've learned that some of our interactions with clients can also happen in a virtual environment. And that's very encouraging, frankly, as we move forward in the future, that perhaps some conversations that used to happen in person can now happen in a virtual setting. But on the other hand, nothing ever replaces that person-to-person touch that made your company so well known and our company so well known too. The other thing we've had to do is be very, very supportive of each of our employees. Each brought new issues to the table with regards to COVID and children at home and sick parents or a spouse that was ill for a period of time. And so we had to introduce great flexibility into our work programs to make sure that every employee felt that they could do their primary job, which is care for the health and well-being of their families. And again, we've sailed through this pretty well. There's certainly been some bumps in the road, but we're all learning from this. At some point in time, this too will pass, and we'll get back to a more typical routine. But you'll notice, Lindsay, that ties disappeared from HORAN too. Ties were also a hallmark of HORAN. We used to say Casual Fridays meant you could use blue ink instead of black, but unfortunately the ties went away too with the pandemic.
We did the exact same thing, Terry. I joked with someone I saw him with a tie on this week, and I said, "You're either going to court or interviewing." So,
yeah. Well, I can't imagine seeing Michael Hirschfeld without a tie on. I think his head would fall off.
Well, you may not still see him without a tie, but others may. Well, you told us about the move. What else is happening with the future of HORAN? What's exciting on the horizon? I mean, the move's obviously huge.
So it's interesting. What has been so helpful in our growth has been the idea that we've been able to take the health claims of our larger clients and do deep dives into their to the reasons why these claims are occurring. And so through our financial analysis, we've been able to report back in a very clear fashion to employers, here's the direction of the health claims in your population, and what can we do, and therefore, to ameliorate some of these claims. So that's been a huge growth engine using factual data in providing real decision-making ability for our employers. And secondly, on our wealth side, a number of them employees have been using us for their retirement plans because we offer a whole suite of educational products that help employees understand how to A, accumulate money and the proper amount to accumulate, B, how to invest it, and most importantly, C, how to distribute it over what will probably be a very long life. So we're involved with all three of those, and that started back in the 60s when we got into the retirement plan business. And those people today, or some of them are in their 90s and still with us as clients. And so there's a whole generational push through the ages to service that accumulation, investment, and distribution phase.
That's great. And at this time, in the past year and a half, and everything everyone's been through, I mean, health, life, probably has come to people's forefront, more than ever before, right?
There's no question. And what I've noticed, Lindsay, is what sets up HORAN so well is often the case. If you don't have some good feeling of wealth, you also probably don't have a good feeling about your health, and the reverse. And so to think that we can provide great expertise, deep expertise in both areas is very important. And then provide that suite of security products underneath, life insurance, disability, income, long-term care, to care for those events of living too long, dying too soon, or becoming disabled. So it's a great, it's such an honor for me to be part of an organization that cares so much about these three aspects of everyone's life.
Yeah, no, it's an honor for us to be such a close partner with HORAN. So, I think it's wonderful what you're doing.
Well, Lindsay, I don't want to interrupt and steal the show, but if you don't mind me saying, I was just going through a short list of what Graydon has done for us over the years, and I noticed that we interact with Graydon on our copyrights. We interact with Graydon on employment law. We interact with Graydon on executive compensation for our key people. We've interacted with Graydon on real estate transactions. And finally, that sound corporate advice that you get from very sensible people who are your partners at Graydon. And so we just couldn't be more excited about the relationship. And then we have this wonderful opportunity every first Friday of the month to be a part of the Bridge series with Graydon at your very now and well space down in over the Rhine. So we're very thrilled.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was nice last month. We were able to do that in person again. So
right.
We're slowly moving out of this pandemic. So
right.
Let's, this part always makes people a little uncomfortable, but let's talk about you for just a second. How did you end up employee number 3 for HORAN?
Well, I was certainly looking for something else to do in college. I didn't think it would be insurance and financial planning, but my father was in that business and was in the business since 1948. But a friend of his came to Washington when I was studying political science in DC and said, and took me out for dinner. And he was a very successful guy in these businesses in Cleveland. And he said, Terry, there's some things about this business you probably don't know. And for the next hour and a half or 2 hours, told me about them. And it was significantly intriguing. And so when I got back to Cincinnati that next vacation, I said to my father, well, you know what, maybe I can join the business and maybe I can make a difference. And that's how it all started. 3 days after college in 1973.
Wow. Well, that's great.
So it's good to have mentors. It's good to have mentors. And I tell all of our young people that, here, get some mentors. I had some great.
Absolutely. Yeah, none of us would be here today without great mentors above us, I think. Strong believer in that.
So well said.
Thank you. What would you tell someone to convince them to move to Cincinnati or to stay in Cincinnati since we're losing so many young people?
Yeah, Lindsay, that's right. I think this is such a special place. It's very hard to move to because not many people know about Cincinnati, but it's located in a beautiful part of the country. We have water, unlike other parts of the country that don't have water. Our weather can be a little dodgy, but that's if you can get past that, it's great. We have a terrific arts program here in Cincinnati. I got to chair that Arts Wave campaign this year. We have a wonderful sports program here in Cincinnati with college and professional ball and great high school sports too. It's a great place to raise a family. It's not terribly expensive and it's easy to get around. You're basically almost 30 minutes from almost anything in greater Cincinnati. And so I think there are a lot of pluses here. Plus you're within you're within an hour of about 24 million, hour to an hour and a half to about 24 million other people in Columbus, Indianapolis, Lexington, Louisville, Wheeling, Charleston, Dayton. And it can take an hour and a half to move up the island of Manhattan. And in an hour and a half here, you'd be in all those other cities practically. And so I think it's a great place to do business.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. So is there a food or an event or something you always recommend to out-of-towners, whether clients, friends, family, to check out?
Yeah, well, of course, I would always say you have to check out the arts. I think, we have world-class symphony, ballet. We have great museums here in Cincinnati. Our theaters are tremendous. And so first, the arts, if it were food, I'm going to have to admit something that I'm a little embarrassed about, Lindsay, but before coming to see you on this video, I did stop in at Skyline for a bowl of chips. No cheese, just beans.
Nothing to be embarrassed about that. You wouldn't be a true Cincinnatian if you didn't have a bowl of Skyline, right? Well, Terry, I really appreciate your time today. Graydon really appreciates the partnership that we have with HORAN. I think our firms are very similar. Our cultures are very similar. And, we really appreciate the ongoing relationship.
Well, Lindsay, thank you. Congratulations on your 150th, and knowing you and knowing your other partners, it's obvious why you got to this point. And so good luck, and check us out on our 150th. Would you please, Lindsay? Thanks.
I'm still alive, Terry. I will be there.
Thank you.